Hello, hello, beautiful people, mi gente bella. Welcome to another edition of Santana Says. We talk about everything from roadblocks to relationships, everything in between, and the wonderful overall journey of life. Not me adding extra words and shit.
Hey.
It was like, what is that? But, you know.
It's your show.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We remixing. For sure.
Do your thing.
But yes, so I am finally, y'all don't understand, finally joined by the amazing, the incredible, you know what I'm saying? You want me to go on? Extraordinaire. But I am a super big fan. Everybody that I bring on the show, I'm a fan of. That's the point.
That's what's up.
But also, this is definitely somebody that I have, you know, we've grown like a whole relationship, you know what I mean? So
Facts.
it's like fam at this point. He's like
To
uncle
me?
to the babies, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. Exactly. But also, like, it was really great, though, to come to you, an unprofessional, like, podcaster who knew nothing about it. And I had all these, I was like everybody else. I had all these excuses. Remember, I was like, well, I don't got a logo yet. I got somebody for that. I was like, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do. Well, I got somebody for that, too. So
Pretty much.
I was like, oh,
Pretty
shit,
much.
okay. I can't play them with you because you ready to go.
No.
And you have made it like look incredible. So like all this stuff, I can't wait. I can finally say, all y'all that been asking me like, oh, how you make your podcast look so good? It sounds so good. This is why. So like whenever there's an incredible talent, I want you to know about them. And so I would love for the beautiful people to know who you are, sir. Just a little bit about you. You know what I mean? All good things.
What's going on? I go by the name of Watts, BKA Watts, bald, knowledgeable ass. It's better known as, mostly because I don't use my first name at all. Y'all don't need to know it. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You can't Google it. Stop it. I am a reformed rap nigga and currently a podcast producer, a 4-time award-winning host, self-taught artist. I'm a portraiture artist, so I'm really good at all these things that I say. And obviously, like I said, podcast producer for my company, PrO3 Entertainment, and now a producer for 4 shows on the Revolt Podcast Network, including one of my own being Blerds and Clips. So yeah, I'm just active. Yeah, I just put my listen, you know, 8 years ago, almost 9 now, when I decided to not go back to work, I just decided to dive into everything that I was either already good at or had an interest in, and yeah, look at where we at now, cooking.
No, crazy.
For sure. So you know what I'm saying?
That's you. Very good. Well, and then speaking of that, I didn't even set it up like all fully. So like the other thing is our last episode was Welcome to Revolt. So like we are officially part of the Revolt Podcast Network, which is dope to even say. I mean, a little ring to it. But what I'm now launching is basically a take me to school type of situation. It's like school season, it's fall, it's a lot of different things. And what I do want to shout out to is that, you know, I love my themes. If y'all have been following the show, if you're new to the show, welcome. But I do love to always talk about things that are going on in the world. So September was absolutely Suicide Prevention Month. And so I definitely want, of course, you know, I know I gave, during my solo episode, I know I talked about that a bit, but like, that's always something, you know, like a big deal. And now in October, it is actually Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but also it's any time to really, you know, talk about anything healthy, like any stand against violence acts and things like that. So, but in Take Me to School, I actually want to get put on a little bit, you know, like take advantage of learning more, because I always want to learn more about different things and all of that. So I know you said you put your hand in a little bit of everything, and you always have, but like...
No diddy.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Just to be clear. But so like, did you like, was there a particular thing that you started with first, you know what I'm saying, before you morphed into the multitude of things that you have now? Or was there something that drove your passion at the beginning?
Music.
Okay.
So like it was first, which is why I say I'm a reformed rap nigga. Like because I was like, this crazy thing. Like I am from and spent a very significant amount of time in the hood, for sure. But by the time I got to rapping and feeling like this is the way out the hood, like my mother had already moved us out of the hood. You know what I'm saying? It was just like I feel like it was just like a part of like the mentality. So it was like, yo, this our way out. Like, whatever. It didn't need to be. It didn't need to be. But I just knew that it was just a passion. And what I ultimately came to realize is I wanted to entertain. I have a personality. Like it's within me to want to entertain, to want to, express, do things that I'm good at. And those things that I'm good at, connect me with people. Yep. And it's crazy because sometimes I absolutely don't want to be around nobody. But then there's other times when I'm like, yo, like I need the energy of others.
Right.
So music definitely gave me that thing. It allowed me to get on the stage and, but there's so many elements to it that make it next to impossible to get where you want to go with it.
Yeah.
And that, there's politics.
Oh.
There's politics, there's attitudes, there's egos. I don't really deal with none of those. I prefer not to.
Right.
And I realized that was limiting as well, that mindset of like, I have to, like, it went from something that I just enjoyed doing to feeling the pressure of it becoming like an actual job to where it was like, I can't just make music because I want to. I feel like I have to try to make a hit single so I can blow up and then blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, then when the focus became solely that, then there was just like no room for like actual free expression.
Yeah.
And then it sucked.
Right.
So when my daughter came along, then I just stopped doing it. And hosting is what brought me back into the space. And then that kind of opened my eyes up to what everything really could be. Once I got to hosting, then it was like, yo, I'm still getting paid. Like, I never got paid as a rapper for real, but every time I host, I get a check.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, this is different. But
right.
I still get to be involved in the culture. I still get to be involved in music and the entertainment. I'm in front of the crowd. I can still talk and crack jokes and make everybody laugh. And all of those elements are there. And then people also knew I rap. So sometimes it's like, even when I didn't have intentions to, it'd be like, yo, spit something. It's like, I can,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So it just, that brought me into it. Was like, okay, cool. So like, then I learned the behind the scenes. I got treated differently.
Right.
And it was like, oh, okay, cool. Let's talk behind the scenes business. Would you want to throw an event? Would you want to, then it's like, oh, okay, now I'm learning. I'm meeting owners. I'm meeting the managers. I'm meeting other promoters. I'm meeting all, like, I already knew the DJs and those people, but now I'm in a different position, so I'm getting different conversations. And then I have my own ideas. Since I got these relationships now, then it's like, boom, or I think we should try this idea for an event. Right. And then it's working. Okay. It's working. Like, everything worked. I didn't do anything that didn't do exactly what I thought it would do or better. And then at that point, it was like, all right, what's next? Right. All of a sudden, it was like, nominated for an award. Lost the first time. Okay. Second time, won. Third time, won. Fourth time, won. Oh, let's go. Fifth time, won. Like, so then like four, like 5 nominations with 4 wins, I'll take the 80%. You know what I'm saying? Look exactly. At the math, you know what I'm saying? We out here. But it was like just every step. Like, it was all unintentional. It was all like, I didn't go into any of this expecting what I got out of it. Yes. But once I saw what the possibility could be, then I moved with intent. Right. And then it was like, boom, doors just kept opening. Exactly. And then the ones that was closed, I like kicked them real hard.
Absolutely.
I mean? So it was like just moving like that. Yeah. So it was, like I said, it was never really intent, but I think that like in my heart, in the back of my head, like I just kept pushing forward because I was getting fed how I wanted to in these spaces, but I just kept finding new avenues to be able to add to that. Right. And it just kept expanding like my diversity of my talents and my abilities, my capabilities, my my network, my reach and my resources. Right. And through those different things, now it's like there's almost nothing that somebody can come to me with that involves arts or entertainment or something creative that I don't have a direct plug to. It's like, oh yeah, I know somebody for you. That's why I was like, when we talked, and it was like, oh, well, I got it. No, I don't know who that. I do. Like, exactly. And it's like that a lot of times when I talk to people. It's like, yeah, no, I know. I got you. I got somebody for it. Like, no, I'm gonna connect you with this person, plug you to that person. These people together can collectively create. Like, now I'm like,
oh no, we can do this. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And that eventually led to, that personality stuff eventually led to podcasting. To my first show with No Offense though, I did with a couple of the homies. I eventually left that show, and then from there, started buying equipment and figuring out how to do it on my own, and created Blerds and Clips with my partner Vigatron, and now we've been running since then. But even with podcasting as a business, that was another thing that was unintentional. I did it for me. Yeah, I wanted to podcast, and then people seeing what I did was then coming to me like, help. And it was like, well, if you will pay, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll certainly help. Right. And now here I am, X amount of shows later. Like I said, all of these things, fell in my lap. Right. to this day feels like all of these things fell in my lap, and then I just made the choice to either apply intent to it or not.
Yeah.
And so,
to help it grow.
Yeah, and yeah, we out here.
Wow. But the thing is, too, so what I love about that is, yeah, because, meanwhile, other people do look for that other type of story. Like, oh, we don't like to hear that it just happened to fall in your lap. Like, what? It wasn't. We're always looking for some kind of other, like, stop. No,
I don't. And that's what I don't know what to tell people. It's like, I don't know why it played out like that for me. Why it has consistently played out like that for me. Like, I didn't. None of it, man. None of it. Somebody when that first invite to host came, it was like, yeah, I'll do it. Whatever, that's cool.
Right, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, yeah, let's do it. I just pulled up. Right. I rocked that joint. We kicked it. Actually, me and my brother Duran Bernard, we went and co-hosted a joint together, and it was like it had a ball, and people just liked our chemistry, which was like obvious, you know what I'm saying? But that led to then somebody else saying, "Hey, bro, would you host over here?"
Yeah,
and it was
exactly. Like,
yeah, I guess. But like, it was like, yeah, but so like, yeah, we got $50 for you, and I'm like, wait, $50 to just say next to the stage is Pookie and them? Like, easy, bro, I'm there. But like now it's more so like I don't want to do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do it. So like, yeah, my fee is low key to like keep people from even reaching out at this point.
Yeah, it's really for that. Yes.
But yeah, like I said, all of it was just it was all unintentional.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just see that when I did put the energy into it, I got really dope results.
Oh, absolutely.
From a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's how it played out.
No, but I think too, what I love throughout that though is that it was organic growth. So at the end of the day, it just organically happened. Exactly. And it was able to like continue to go on. But you also stayed true to yourself throughout all of that. At the end of the day. Yeah. And you were honoring the strength that you already came into the game with. Yeah,
pretty much. And that's the thing. I don't force nothing.
Right.
Like I don't force nothing if I don't. Like it's just it doesn't make sense to me.
Yep.
Like I was doing music, so all right, it made sense. Like all right, as a rapper, like maybe like I knew of a few rappers that also made beats. All right, let me try to make beats.
Yeah.
I downloaded a program. I messed with it for like no BS, 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
And I was like, nope, this is too hard. I don't like it. It ain't for me. Uninstall. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep,
and that's just legitimately like how it like goes with me. If I don't feel like it's something there immediately, I'm all right. I'll leave it to somebody who it is for and who good at it.
Yeah, they got it.
Like drawing, I just picked up the pencil and I could look at something and I could recreate it on that paper.
Right.
Like I didn't go to school for that. Nobody taught me what to do. I just could do it.
Yeah.
So in my mind, those are the types of things that I put that energy into. If it comes like that, getting up on the stage in front of people and then saying things, and I can move the crowd in whatever way I need to.
Exactly.
You don't get taught that. That's not like
you gotta got it or you don't.
Yeah, you feel me? So, like I said, that's just how I operate. Those are the things that I do. I didn't go to school for voiceover work, but I've done a bunch of voiceover work. Radio 1 and Channel 3 and commercials and. Like again, like I mean, I guess you can take classes and training for those kind of things, but, but even still, though, it's like that's the fact that I didn't, and have worked with multi-million-dollar, you know what I'm saying, media companies and international brands using my voice. Where did it come from? It's just it was there, so I just, you know what I mean. That's all it is. It's all these things are just me.
Yes. But I love that you maximize the hell out of that. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, we're not going to just sit on... I mean, that's a lot of talents to be using, but I love that they're being used. Because I feel like a lot of times there's a lot of people sitting on things and they don't. So what I love is that you're like the king of action. Like, we won't get this shit done. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no reason not to. We can figure it out. And even if it doesn't go well, whatever, we will adjust. We will figure out a new plan if we need to, and we'll do whatever needs to be done, but we're going to do it. And there's too many people that are stuck in that, like, idea phase. They may have ideas too, but they don't. Like, they let all those roadblocks stay there and all this resistance. And yes, there's also some that I feel like have come from like a line of like creatives, whatever. That's not what I'm hearing from you.
But my mother, for people who are familiar or have seen my artwork and think that I'm good, like, trust me, if you saw my mother's work, you'll be like, oh, you ain't nobody, bro. And that's the thing, like, so that definitely came from her. The wild part about it is my mother is also an artist who probably hasn't created a piece of like traditional art in I don't know, a decade or so, but she just still does other artistic things. She just creates, she crafts, she scrapbooks, she does like, that's just in her. And then it's like, me too. So there's, there's her. Then my mother also used to rap.
Okay.
So then like when I got
Mama
into
Watts.
rap, you feel me? Like when I started rapping, she was like, man, I used to do that. Like,
right. Let me put you on.
That's crazy. So a lot of things that are me, just jokes and personality and a sense of humor, all of that is low key copy paste from her. Wow. I couldn't even take the credit for real. Again, it's just the only credit that I can take is just the fact that I put in the work.
Absolutely.
To make those to like make those things lucrative for myself and beneficial. But yeah, it definitely stemmed from her. Wow. Absolutely. But yeah, it also requires that action.
Right.
But that action comes out of, at first it came out of, oh shit, I ain't got a job no more.
Yeah, it's true.
So like,
that's some motivation.
The first Friday that came and it was like, whew, ain't no check.
Yep.
And like the next one came and it was like, still ain't no check. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, right. I was at 5 different venues per week hosting. So it was like, yeah, I'm getting paid on Tuesday at B-Side, Wednesday at Kings and Queens, Thursdays at Take 5, Gibbs on Friday, Anatomy on Saturday. And that was like 2 years strong. So, I saw...
I miss Anatomy.
What that... you feel me? Because, it was like 500 every Saturday. Like,
nice.
Feel me? But that... that just showed me that, I don't have to be restricted to like a check every 2 weeks. I can get paid 5 days out the week. Yep. I can get paid 7 days out the week if I'm doing, this was just one thing. But then when I started to do art again, it had been 8 years. I hadn't done any art at all whatsoever. And during that time, that window was when I made myself, a factor on the scene.
Okay. Yep.
So people knew me strictly off rap.
Okay.
Then started to get to know me for hosting.
Okay.
And it had been 2 years of me hosting before I posted the first piece of art to social media. And then people was like, yo, who drew that? That's crazy. And I'm like, me.
All right. Looking at them.
She's talking about, like, I did it. People didn't believe me at first until I started, like, drawing people that we knew and, like, posting and putting the stuff out. And it was like, oh, snaps. So it was like that action came along with me just, like, I had time.
Yeah.
Once I got to the point where the money was like steady with just doing some of these new things, then I had time to just do stuff. So I started to draw again, and I really, really dove deep into it. Then I wanted to learn magic. I went down to Atlanta.
Oh yeah, what the hell? I always forget about that. Whole ass magician out here too.
Like, yeah, I went down to Atlanta and ran into a dude that just did the craziest card joints, and it was like, oh, all right. Like, I got back to Cleveland and wanted to learn. I had the time. I don't got to go to work. You know what I'm saying?
That is so
like,
true.
So like, and if I do work, I'm gonna go at night. I ain't got to pull up to the club till 11. What I'm about to do till then? Give me these cards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just I had time. I had the creativity was in me. I had the freedom to be able to explore things that I could do, and I just have found all these things that I was good at could be something. And I think it's because people will buy anything.
Yeah.
It's just like, what do you have to sell them?
Right. That's
low key.
Well, that is true.
What do you have?
Because we're
to sell them?
consumers at the end. Yeah, we live in a consumer society for sure. So like, how are you tapping into that? Like, absolutely, and figuring out what your market gonna be. But that is definitely true, and I love that because self-employment, I feel like for other people, meanwhile, is scary because they're like, okay, but no benefits though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how am I gonna like literally like fund my lifestyle? Clearly, you found a way to make that work. But did any of that? None of that deterred you either. Like, you weren't scared off of none of that.
No.
Yeah,
no, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't even really thinking too hard about it. It was like when I left my last job would be at T-Mobile. It was like, I got health, dental, and vision. It was like, but at the time, 2020, my eyes was great, as y'all can see. Since then, not so much. But yeah, it was just like, all right, man, I'm just gonna figure this out though. That was what I was concerned with, was just figuring it out. And I had. Fortunately, the way that I had worked, the way I'd never taken a vacation the 3 years I was there, so they had to pay me out vacation, and it was tax time, and I had just wrote a song for Channel 3 and got a nice payday for that.
Okay,
so all of those things all happened within like a month of each other.
Wow.
And with all those things happening, I had enough money to last me. This was March of 21. I had enough money to pay all my bills and last until like November.
Ooh,
so it was like I have enough time to fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
And either when I get to November, I'm gonna either be broke and be looking for a job again, or what I'm about to do for this next couple months is gonna work, and then I can keep it rolling.
Okay.
And like I said, we about to go into year 9, so
I mean, so obviously it's working, right? Exactly. But that too, though. So like, did PrO3 Entertainment did that wasn't originally like the, you know, I mean, when you was first hosting and all that, I'm assuming the business came later.
I came up with PrO3. I was riding. We was getting ready to go to B-side to go do the Tuesday night open mic, and yeah, so like we were. I was leaving the mall. I was still at T-Mobile. I was at T-Mobile. My guy Mike had picked me up, and I'm sitting in the back seat, and I'm just like, and I don't know why the name was just like bubbling in my brain, and like, and I don't even remember why I was in his back seat. I genuinely don't. I don't even think nobody was in the front. I think I just jumped in the back seat and just and we was riding up to Coventry, and I was just like, bro, what you think about this? And it hit me right there on the spot. He had just started Boastful Minds Productions, and I'm like, bro, like PrO3, but the PrO3 is it. Because so if you see the logo, there's a capital P, lowercase r, and then there's the O and the small 3 up next to the O. So it looks like an element on the periodic table. The reason behind that was because we encompass all the elements of entertainment. One. And then on the other hand, the PR and the R being lowercase and then the O being capital again was to separate the two, because the PR is produced, the 3 O's, the O3s, on our own. So when I got with these people, these other creatives, it was like, we don't need nobody else. We don't have to wait on nobody.
No, absolutely
We can just do what we want to do. We can create what we want to create. And, you know, that's where I came up with it at. And that would have been since I was still working. I want to say that was 2015. That I came up with the name. And when I started to do my own events separate from like the B-Side Tuesday, I would use the name. I had my guy Josh Wallace, who was he was the Cavs graphic designer at the time. I reached out to him and he did the logo for me. And yeah, so that was 2015. So I've been running with it since then. Then I actually started to learn about business and officially like LLC'd it back in 2020.
Damn, so, but it's actually a journey, right?
Yeah,
behind all of that.
For sure. Yeah, and then oddly enough, the new version of the logo, the current version of the logo, my guy JR did. Shout out to None Flyer. And he is now currently one of the Cavs graphic designers. Yeah,
what's up with you? Yeah, you got all the Cavs design. What's up?
Listen, no, it's the wild part is like it's not just me, it's my friends, like a bunch of my friends. Like we all got together at like the bottom, or when we was in the beginning of everything, and nobody, you don't know who gonna be
who gonna end up getting put on.
You know what I mean? So like me and Josh, we went to high school together, but we didn't even know each other in high school. We linked up in college when I started the Black Student Union on campus and made him vice president of the Black Student Union.
So, where'd y'all go to college?
We went to Lakeland.
Lakeland,
yeah, you know
cool. Yeah,
we got our little community college on or whatever, and then he ended up transferring out to go to CCAD, and then look at him now. So you know,
doing
there was that, which was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So then JR, he and I linked up 2016 when we did myself and my partner on the pod, Vig, we came up with a film festival concept. So we did a film festival because we wanted to show our music videos in the movie theater because we thought that's dope and ain't nobody ever done it. So it was all right, let's do that. But then it was like, well, how do we want to pay for it, or can we like find a way to make it? And what we did was we opened it up to other people to send their stuff to us, which led to a whole thing. And JR did the website for us, the design work for us. We was just freelancing, and everybody was just, you know what I'm saying, half broke at the time. But then again, like, I kept working, and look where I got. Josh kept working, look where he got. JR kept working, look where he got. And it's just like, it just happened to be that I found these amazing people when we was all in like a similar space of we're dope. But
Right.
the world ain't recognized it
Yeah,
yet.
they don't know
and
yet.
And just since then, the world has started to recognize
Absolutely.
it. So,
Yeah. Because that's a big name now. Yeah. I was thinking that. I was like, that's just, and it reminds me of like the Ilthy story too. Like a lot of them, and I didn't even realize
Right.
they were doing that shit just to fundraise or something like that. It was something crazy.
Right.
But now it's just like ballooned into this whole like big thing. But I also agree though that y'all did put in that work though. At the end of the day, like the work did not stop. You were definitely motivated by whatever you were motivated by. But yeah, it was a lot of effort that y'all put. So definitely giving y'all flowers for that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, motivated to not go back to work. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was like definitely a part
exactly.
of it.
That's good motivation.
It was twofold. Of I was enjoying doing I enjoy doing the things I'm good at. Who
Right.
don't? You know
Yeah,
what I
hell
mean?
yeah.
Like I'm good at this, therefore I want to do it. All right,
Yes.
cool. And then if people will pay you for it, cool. I think then like delving into the other things that I was good at allowed me to kind of spread the like work and personal balance specifically to those things. Like I was drawing. I would get sick of drawing people's relatives and whatever specific, you know, or their dog or whatever. I got tired of that after a point, and then it was like, oh, I want to just draw something that I want to draw.
Hell yeah.
So if I can kind of pick and choose when I open my commissions up to do art,
Right.
then I can pick and choose when I do stuff for myself.
Yep.
And if I can pick and choose when I'm gonna host and what events I take, then I can just, you know, throw my own stuff and host my own stuff and pay myself the way I want to, versus taking what people want to offer me, or whatever the case may be.
Waiting on that.
So yeah, it was finding a balance of like, how often am I gonna make myself available to do these things for y'all versus doing them for myself.
Right.
Has been a thing for sure. And I'm at that point now with podcasting. I'm super ready to find other people to step in place.
I was gonna say, yeah, how that time looking right now. Yep.
It's time for me to. I'm so tired of pressing the buttons for y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
No offense taken from us.
No. It's just like I just don't have time to put into my show the way I would like to.
No, absolutely.
The way that I need to.
True.
So yeah,
And that you deserve to.
for sure. Yeah, my show definitely deserves some more TLC, and I gotta be able to get to that. So
Yeah.
it's cool. Fortunately, having a partner, but yes, you know, the business is growing, which is a good thing. But that means I need to be willing to empower some other people to step in, because this is the one thing that I do that I don't have to do.
Yeah,
you know
true.
what I mean? So,
That is true.
Yeah, like if somebody wants my art, I can't have one of the homies draw it for me. I
know. Yeah, you got to.
But
do
if
that
somebody wants a
yourself. Yep.
podcast, I can have an employee learn the method and how everything goes, and they can do this, and I don't have to be the one. So that's also why this business is so important, because it's not going nowhere.
True.
But
This is
it's
very
one that I can use to generate income and build and grow with, that I don't have to be the one to make everything happen for.
I love hearing that. Yeah, this is the one you could definitely expand, and I do hear what you're saying. You could definitely pour into other folks. You know what I'm saying, and see that. But then in the process, it also does grow, and there are other things that it can definitely move on to. But I agree with that. You definitely can pour into other people. Yeah, I was definitely curious how you met that incredible co-host that you have, who has the facial expressions that
Listen,
get me every time.
that's my guy, man. We met on the music scene, and so he was rapping. We really met like B-side doing the Tuesday open mic that I've been running forever and ever and ever. Right. So we ran into each other there, then started to run into each other like doing shows at Grog Shop and stuff like that. And from there, it was just like I mess with, as a rapper, like I'm anybody who also got bars, like if you barred up, like everybody know I'm barred up, like all right, cool, like look at each other like, oh, you rap? Like, oh, you rap? Spit some, you know what I'm saying? Like it was that. So, you know, we was able to connect on that wavelength, and then we further connected just like in general, just cool personality, and then being at the movies all the time, and then seeing him at the theater, like walking out in the lobby and seeing him like, you was in that joint? Like, yeah. Like, what you thought? And then we in the lobby for like 20, 30, 40, but it's just breaking it down.
Wow.
So initially, Blerds and Clips was not called Blerds and Clips.
Okay.
It didn't have a name yet. I just knew I wanted to do a podcast. The only person I knew with a podcast was the homie DJ Step One. Him and the also homie DJ K Nice. So
I didn't realize that.
Most of the time y'all see me, I'm usually wearing Nice Code, DJ K Nice clothes. So them two had a podcast called Last of a Dying Breed, and I was trying to figure out how to tap into it myself.
Yeah.
So I always talked movies with Step One.
Okay.
Never ran into him because Step stay on the other side of town.
Right.
But immediately when something to come out, like Thursday premiere, Friday, Step on my phone, like, did you see such and such? Like, so he and I originally were talking about the pod. And we talked about it for a year.
Oh, wow.
Just off and on, like, bro, we still got to do this pod. We're doing all this other stuff, but then it'll always be like, we got to do this pod. Right. Step was just too busy. He had a short series that he was doing.
Oh, okay.
So while he was working on his Small World series and also doing Last of a Dying Breed, he didn't really have time to get into it. So I started looking for another person who could do it with me. Yeah. And he was just like throwing suggestions out. And that was when it kind of clicked. Like, I always see Vig at the theater.
Yeah.
Always see Vig at the theater. Then he'd be acting. I know he'd be in that bag. And, you know, we also, at that point, were super connected from doing the film festivals.
Right.
So, like, because when we did one of the promos to the film festival, like, he cried on command.
Wow.
It was like,
damn.
This nigga's the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Exact. Wow.
It was just like, he's a really multifaceted person, too. So,
damn.
yeah, it was like, bro, like, would you want to do this pod with me? And another person I always talked to about movies was our homie Mark Moore, and his business is Ghetto Kid Big Dreams TV. So we reached out to him to shoot it.
Wow, okay.
And also be a co-host. So it started out with me and Step talking, then me, Mark, and Vig sitting down together. But Mark ended up just being too busy because he, another one of them famous ass friends, got locked in with 107.9 at the time. So then he was at the radio station. So
of course,
booked up, like, doing his film work for them. He didn't have time for the pod.
Right.
So then it just became like, then there was two, just me and Vig again.
Exactly.
And that's when that's what led me to have to figure out how to do this.
Right.
So if it were not for that, like, roll out of, you know, events, then it wouldn't have gotten to the point where I had to figure out how to make it work for us to do the show. And originally we were called Chicken and Flicks because we was like being funny but also being like clearly niggas. But we decided, all right, let's not do that. I came up with Blerds and Clips, Black Nerds, TV and movie clips. Simple.
Nice.
Clean.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel me?
Right.
And then we had JR do the logo, and I'm like, bro, like, just make that joint like red and blue like the old school 3D glasses. Oh, no. And one of the first joints that he did was like hands throwing up a B and a C with like red and blue rags. I'm like, nigga, you're gonna get us killed.
Exactly. No, we're not trying to gang activity. No,
like,
gangs.
Bruh, no. Like, and even still with the cursive like that he came up with, the font that he came up with for our logo is dope. But because it's script, people still see it and immediately be like, Bloods and Crips, and they be like, no. Like, no.
Need you to know. No.
Like, but I see a big B and a big C and some squiggles in the middle, and it's red and blue. And I'm just like,
no, man.
You have all the points.
Right, but I need you to know.
but the B side is red and the C side is blue too. And it's like, okay, listen, more points. But still, here's the actual explanation. So
exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, Vig and I, yeah, we definitely went from music scene to seeing, you know, creating a film festival, which we ran multiple times. We did 4 of the film festivals. The last one we did was in partnership with the Ohio Hip Hop Awards.
Okay.
So yeah, like they reached out to us and we connected the two like that. So yeah, again, it just made perfect sense to reach out to him.
Yeah, why
for
not?
Us and then it's a great dynamic because Vig is 12 years older than I am. So for all the movies that I have seen and consumed, there's still plenty I haven't. And then that age difference between the two of us, he's seen a lot as well.
Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of the same things, and there's a lot of stuff that we each have seen that the other hasn't, and so on and so forth. So it's just a good
yes, dynamic. Beautiful partnership. Yes, but it does gel, and y'all definitely are hilarious as hell. Like together, so it's just like it's just even better. But that's so cool though. I didn't realize there was all that other stuff going into it. And again, like you said, the network really has grown. So like now everybody got their own stuff going on. Wow. But I did hear like, okay, so even with all this, all that blowing up, and then like, of course you have the show, and you even see, you know, of course you want to be able to pour back into the guy. That was the original thing, you know what I'm saying? And so now you've been able to have this own separate company and like ventures out of it, but you of course would love to be able to get back to that. Mm-hmm. But even at one point, what I think was, you know, very great that you said was that you have also had to take pauses before, because like due to like parenting. Well, at least that's why I heard. Yeah, it's not always, you know what I'm saying, because you definitely king action. But definitely because of that and just things like that, too. And that's always something that I also, again, giving this man his flowers, you're definitely, he may not have been officially part of the Dope Dad series, but he's definitely the definition. Dope Dad, okay? And so, like, I love, like, we both can do that. Like, whenever we need to be flexible about the kids, we already know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yo, we got to switch that. Got something going on with the babies.
Pretty much.
So, like, and you understand that better than anyone because you do that as well. And it's always something I've admired about you for sure. That, like, you do all this so well. But you did that parenting thing for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was just one of those things. Like I said, when I found out that I got a kid coming in general, like, you know, I looked at how I was living at the time and was like, I can't keep doing this with a child.
Yeah.
So I had to switch it up. And, you know, I never was like, I would go out for sure.
Yeah, of course. Right?
I would like kick it, but at the same time, I've never been one to indulge in like the different elements of like kicking it. I don't drink, I don't smoke, so I don't do none of that.
Unicorn then.
Yeah, it's just like a weirdo.
Somewhat.
So like for me to be like for me to have made my living the entertainment scene,
true.
and for me to be so deep into it, like me not doing those things, I honestly feel like it's a part of the reason why I haven't gone bigger and even deeper, because I'm just not, I don't go that far. But it's just like, but what I do it well enough that it just all works.
Yep.
But no, I'm not one of those people. So when it was like time to, you know, like lock it down and really like be responsible for another life, then it was like, okay, let's do that.
For real.
My mother is like the biggest help possible, because she just be, you know, she be ready. And like her and my daughter have been like this since like the immediate first second. Right. So it was like, oh, I got a grandbaby on the way. Awesome. She's basically mine.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. I got that.
whatever, lady. I ain't about to worry about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, it's definitely having a great support system and so on and so forth, to just, you know, I want to make it so that she just get better experiences than I had. And I was talking to her the other day, and I tell her all the time, like, listen, like, you are definitely way cooler than I was at your age.
Right.
And I be trying to encourage her for the most part.
Right.
But she called me the other day on FaceTime, and she solved the Rubik's Cube, which at 36 I've never done.
Right.
And
The
I was
hell
like,
I didn't do
well,
that yet.
like, if you didn't believe me before when I told you that you like the better version of me, like, even I really believe it now. Like, I can't even do that. You know what I mean? Like, she draws better than I did at that age. She dances better than I did at that age. She, you know, like I said, she's sharp. And it's dope to see, like, an evolved version of yourself.
Yeah.
But, in its infancy, and I can only imagine what she gonna do. So, yeah, I just try to be the same way my mother was for me, and just support her and back her up on stuff she want to do, and encourage her to just go, you know. And I think that her seeing me just do all these things, and then she does so many of the things that I do, is like, do that. Do exactly those things and figure out what you want to do, and I got you.
Yes, absolutely. And I just love that, because everything about it, I was thinking the same. Because, you know, you also be over here shouting out my kids. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So he's definitely. But I felt similarly, because I was like, I just think that it's just the greatest. It's that greatest reward. And you see that, like, shine come out of them. But I agree with you on even that confidence level. Yo, like, I was not about all that stuff. And they're willing to try stuff, do whatever, challenge us, you know? That's all. So that's the thing. My kids keep me on my toes for sure. And they definitely call me out on stuff all the time. So that's the other thing. Like, these kids are definitely more outspoken.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They built different. But I agree, though, that, like, they're able, and I'm glad that we can also cultivate experiences for them to help them to really, like, try out different things and figure it out in ways that we didn't necessarily have. And I love that your mama, you know what I'm saying, like, set that up from the jump.
Yeah. It's like, because her passport crazy, because my mother was in the military, so she was over there in Germany, and so for 3 summers straight, I sent Jay over there for the whole summer. So she got to, like, she did 3 summers in Europe. They was over there, and they took her everywhere. They took her to France. They took her to, you know, Italy. And they went to, you know, really wherever you could think of. They, you know, because their transportation and, like, everything, all those, like, amazing sites are, like, super close.
Right.
And easy to get to. So, you know, while she was in school over there, like, during the summer, because they have school during the summer, which is like, okay, cool. So she would be over there in school during the summer learning German. So then she was coming back home and she's speaking that. So it's like super cool.
Wow.
That, you know, then, like, she would come home and have friends over there that she would call and talk to, and they have conversations in German. And I'm just like, bro, this is ridiculous.
You're right. This is crazy.
So dope, though.
Yeah.
So, you know, she has legitimately seen the world at 12, and it's cool as hell.
Exactly. Like, who the hell can say that already? Like, but yeah.
Because I still ain't been outside this motherfucker. You know? Like,
we got to get you. But I was thinking that too. Like, so do you ever have time? That's the only thing I was curious about. With all the shit you be doing and how much, like I said, all the projects you have going, do you ever really get to vacation? Like, has that even been in your vocabulary for a little while, or like how that look?
No.
Okay.
When I leave town, it's typically like there's some type of work intended.
Behind it. Okay.
So like Revolt World, like 5 days in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Miserable the whole time. You know what I mean? I wasn't having a ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I technically should have been, I guess, but like,
ball
nope.
out.
And then same like the last time I went out to, the last time I actually like got a kick it in might have been like 2017.
Damn.
Like,
Okay.
and went out and I went down there in Atlanta, and even for that was still like
Something attached.
work. And we went out there, and I took like 20 artists with me, and we did a music artist. We did a Cleveland versus Atlanta concert.
Okay.
So I went down, spent the weekend, met people, organized it, put it all together, came back, and booked the people I wanted, and then set it all up, and then we all flew down there and did the show like the next month. So that was really dope, and I mean I had a good time during that. But again, like I said, that was like 2017.
Right.
Since then, I think I went to Vegas in 20, but like everything was shut down.
Yeah.
That was my first time going out there.
COVID,
So
right.
yeah, everything was shut down, and it was like so hot, like your shoes would like start to melt to the concrete.
Yes,
so
Vegas
like couldn't
is
even
good for
really
that.
be outside. So it wasn't really like a major experience. So yeah, no, I really don't. I ain't gonna lie, I don't vacation. Again, it's difficult to vacation. I feel like too, when you don't drink, don't smoke, don't do those kind of things,
true,
like
yeah.
party, like so going places like a place like Vegas is like there's nothing there for me.
Oh, no, yeah.
Everybody like you can go to this place and get super fucked up. And I'm like, but I don't do that. And they're like, well, but you can go to. I don't do that either. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, you can go gamble your life. What? I'm not doing that. Like, bro, listen, your check's gonna come and replenish on Friday, and my money doesn't work that way. So I don't
Absolutely
blow
not.
it and act crazy with it. So I don't know. Like my responsibility level is different. So I don't know. It's just like a lot of things are not really for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately. So I don't really know what a vacation looks like that would even be dope. And another thing I don't do is sleep for real. Like I typically catch me 3 to 4 hours if I'm lucky, and I got to be right back up to doing something else again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to making some changes and
Absolutely,
and kind of getting things back situated here soon.
Yeah, so you could do that. I mean, yeah, because nobody deserves rest more than you do. But
Yeah.
you just, that's hard to come by.
Like
Clearly.
the only thing I really do fun is go to the movie theater. I enjoy the theater. That's my thing. So you know what I'm saying?
Catch on.
And listen, and I ain't even been to the theater in like since Beetlejuice came out.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's been like a month.
And some of the movies are a little weird now. I don't know. They're not. They don't hit the same. They don't. I mean, even as a.
It's a crapshoot. You don't know. You gotta walk
you
in there.
just don't know what you gonna get.
You just hope that the trailer is actually selling you what the movie is
Oh
gonna
my
be.
gosh, right. Because I was so mad when that was like the only action part was what was in the trailer. I was like, that was it? Why y'all play me like this? I
Like,
thought I was
fam,
going to get that here.
Come on. Now the trailer pretty much show you the whole movie, and it's like, oh, right.
That too. So we just summed it up already.
All right, bro. I could have. I mean, the 3-minute version of this was a little bit better than the 90-minute waste right here. So
Yes. No, true. And I did not even get a chance. I went on the Disney cruise and I was so like tired that I fell asleep on Deadpool versus Wolverine. It was
I
sad.
feel you. See, so
sad.
like, and like when we hit Revolt World, it was definitely a lot more after partying and things to do that we did not get to touch. Like we definitely caught ourselves sleeping more than we intended to from that respect. So yeah, man,
It was
I don't
hot
know.
down there too, though. Speaking of.
And then like also like just like after so from 2015 to like 2019, I either hosted, like created, curated, however you want to say it, like 600 events.
Jesus.
So-
Okay, nothing small.
Right. So over that time frame, I was spending a huge chunk of my days and my nights, inside the kick it, but working the
Right.
kick it, not actually.
Yeah, not
kicking it.
participating.
So like
Kick it.
I guess it would be similar to, the person who work at McDonald's being like, I'm not eating here. Or even working at the 5-star spot that's like, bro, I'm not eating that shit. It's
Right.
just-
Exactly.
I get it. Like I get
Yeah.
it. So when people be like, you going to this? No.
Actually not.
I'm not. I have no intention of being out with y'all standing on the couch, popping bottles that I don't drink out of. Like, it's just weird. So it's not for me. If I'm not getting paid to be in that environment, I don't really want to be in it. I don't enjoy it. So yeah, kicking it or having fun has a whole new definition for me. And
Right.
Yeah, it don't fit with everybody else's. So like, yeah, often when people going out, they don't even hit me up. They know I'm not coming.
Right, exactly. You ain't gotta bother. Oh man, but agreed. Like I think it is fascinating that you've been able to do so much though within the world of entertainment and not necessarily be the typical participant that others are.
For sure.
Like I agree, but then I'm thinking so the only thing I am curious about like is there anything that does provide release though for you? I mean, I know you enjoy the movies, but like maybe the art, I don't know. But I know you're doing it for others, so that's why I'm like, is there anything that actually organically provides?
All of these things used to.
Okay.
And that's the kind of, that's the part that sucks, because I really used to sit down and just draw for like hours and hours and hours and just be so happy with what I was doing. And now it doesn't necessarily feel like that. Or even though I feel like because I haven't been taking commissions lately, I could get in that bag right now.
Right.
But I'm so backed up and busy with pods that I don't even have time to draw. And being so backed up with pods, I don't have time to just sit down and just work on my pod the way I want to and enjoy this. Because Saturdays, I used to really love knowing that, yo, we about to sit down and get it cracking.
Talk mess.
And now it's like we not even really doing that like the way that we used to. So yeah, like all of these things were that for me. And that's what I mean when I say that I need to work on getting them all back to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So because at this point, it's a great thing that I've been able to take all these passions or all these gifts and be able to monetize them and gain something from them, or help them, or have them help me afford a lifestyle.
Right.
Which ain't crazy, but still to be able to not have to go to work. You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah, like that's great. But they all have reached a point at some point or another where, like I said, they have kind of been overtaken and become work and not my thing anymore. And I hate it.
Yeah.
Hate it, because they are really like the only things that I have. Because like I said, I don't have the usual kick it. I don't have the, the dispensaries in this city are, I don't care. They ain't nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't like the things that everybody else be indulging in, like, are not for me. So yeah, these are my things and I have to be able to get back to them. That's also probably a part of why I like always have kept like the magic just like right here. Like I never, people have been like, would you come do such and such as party? Like, nope.
And then let me at least have one thing, y'all. That's mine.
I'm not doing it. I'm just sitting at home practicing, trying to just get cold with the cards. And yeah, I'd rather, but yeah, these other things I got to get them back to that point too.
Okay. No, and I hear that. And at least you have one thing that's protected. You know what I'm saying? That you keep. But I hear you, because see, that's the only thing. That's like, it's something that not everybody gets a chance to do. So not everybody is even able to monetize a lot of stuff. Because like you said, even with the music, unfortunately, that's your thing. Yeah, that's even where you began, but it didn't always necessarily gain you an income right away or whatever. And in general, it still led to these amazing other things. My goodness. Like it literally set you on this amazing path. But it didn't always do that right away. And so like that's the only other side though. When you reach this height of success, that now you need to like figure out a way. Because this is also kind of like delegating. I also know people that just have no idea how to release things, because they need to be in control of every single part.
Right.
And if my hand ain't in it, then no. So I love that you're also not there either, because you're like, no, I'm good. If I can figure out some people to figure this out.
Yeah, well, but I find myself talking about this kind of often now, is the fact that this is the only thing that I do that I can delegate.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If somebody wants my art, I can't have a homie draw it. Like I said, if somebody wants me to host, I have to go be present and host, so I can't put those things off on somebody else. No. Those other elements of what I do. So considering that this one is the one thing, then I need to give that the focus to be able to get this to that point where I can go hands off and say, all right, cool. Like, I'm fired. You can't, I'm not producing your show no more. Or if I do produce somebody's show, there's an increased rate to have me do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm at a point where my demand is higher.
Yep.
My notoriety is up, and please don't take that the wrong way by no means. It's just that I've been doing some things that have me in a position where people are wanting more of me and more access to me, which means that there's value in my time. So if I say, listen, here's the regular price to get a podcast shot by PrO3.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. But if you want to come to PrO3 and have Watts specifically be the one to put his hands on your show, then it's going to cost X increased amount.
Yep.
And I also, of course, want to figure out some additional incentives for that.
Yep.
To be able to say, all right, and if you do come up off the extra, here's what it is that you get from working with him directly that you don't by getting, the standard package with the employees. So yeah, that's really that's the direction right now, is making that happen.
Right, and being able to see that part through, because that's what I was also curious about, because you're the king of ideas and all these different things. So
Ideas
I'm sure
make.
yes, and I love that you have a lot going on. So I know that that's at least company wise. But is there a lot of other things on there? I know you probably can't share it all, but like other things that you would love to see happen in the future, build an empire. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, I want to do so much more with my art. And that's a thing. So before the year is out, I am determined to do my first solo art show.
Ooh.
Which I will definitely do here at Lounges. And y'all, and if you've been to Lounges, you understand this is a very artistic, creative, colorful space. I'm going to drench this place in black and white when I do my show. So that's the plan. And so yeah, I'm gonna move that way. And we're going to do that. That's coming up. Bringing back my art shows, because I've had my music-based art series for a couple years now, and we haven't done one yet this year. Yeah. So I would like to do one of those. Wow. If we can pull off 2, that'd be crazy. Yes. But yeah, I wanna just be able to get back in that. Like my event production bag is where I want to get back tapped into. Oh yeah. And I got some ideas for how to pull those off in a particular way and really put some teams together around certain events that can just really handle and manage. Right. So yeah, there will be a lot more delegation to make sure that my creations are coming to life. That's really where I'm headed. So back to familiar territory and just expanding in a way that I haven't before.
Oh, I do love that. And I'm glad you can still see, your vision is large enough to be able to see that, and know that you want to have that, and that you're not too immersed in this world to be like, no, but I still want I know I'm disconnected, and I want to bring that back to me, especially because it's me. It's yeah, absolutely. Ooh, so then the only other thing I would ask you, sir, is that anybody else that, was like similar to you that has all these different things that they are considering or wanting to do, if you had advice for those people, what on earth would you want to... I know a lot of things you figured out on your own. And even and I think we didn't even touch on it, but like the business side, you said eventually you figured that out. So I don't know if somebody put you on to that, like the LLC stuff.
Miscellaneously, like just through casual conversations with the homies who were figuring it out themselves too. Right. And then, like I said, being able to get myself into those rooms with, with owners and things of the sort, and talking to people led me to getting the information that I otherwise could have Googled. So yeah, go look stuff up.
Right, exactly. YouTube University.
I tell people all the time, go learn the business you say you want to be your business, for sure. But yeah, I would tell somebody, especially anybody who is multifaceted, if you got multiple bags that you get into, that you can tap into, do not be naive enough to think that you can do it all at once. It's not realistic. Right. Nothing. It's like if you got 8 hours to dedicate and you try to do 2 hours on this, 2 hours on this, 2 hours on this, 2 hours on this. Like it's just, that ain't how it works. And that's definitely not how creativity works. You don't just get to say, all right, I'm gonna write fire rhymes right now from 2 to 4. Exactly. And then I'm gonna go out of rhyme mode, and then I'm gonna whip up delicious culinary dishes for the next 2 hours after that and create new, never before seen recipes. That's not it. Each of these things I dedicated time to and really cultivated. And then once I got it to a point where it was like self-sustaining, almost autopilot, that's when I stepped into the next space. Yeah. I hosted 2014 to 2016, and that's when I started to throw events at the end of 2016. Right. I started to do art in the summer of 2016 again, and that led me to being able to have some event opportunities I was able to go to and touch base on. Right. And then I really dove in hard on art. I could do art during the day. I could do events at night. Right. Then I was able to dedicate that time there. And then in the meantime, with my team, I could start to bring our ideas to life slowly but surely. And every couple months, we'd do a new event. And then we got those rolling on a consistent. But I wasn't just jumping from thing to thing. No diddy. it was it was really, I focused on art and went hard in that regard for a significant portion of time and got it moving and put systems in place and understood how I was operating. And then I moved over to the next thing. When I got into podcasting, I dove in extremely hard. I was potting, I was recording or coming up with something. I was learning, I was researching every day. And that's how we went from March to May. I didn't do anything but podcasts and got myself to a point where now I'm linked up with other podcasters, and then we're launching a network. And then from May to August, I found the original studio where we met at.
Oh, yeah.
I linked up with them and brought podcasting into a space, which was a service that they weren't providing, and then was able to become a partner over there and make stuff start happening there. Once I got podcasting rolling in that space, then all right, cool, now it's going. Like, y'all don't see me, look at my social media. When was the last time I posted a drawing? It was a while ago. When was the last time I posted something that I was promoting event-wise? It was a while ago. When was the last time I posted about podcasting? It was a while ago. Because I don't have to every day sit and beat y'all over the head with it.
Right.
Because I did that when I was getting into them.
Right.
So if you're multifaceted, prioritize them. Figure out which ones are the most important or the most accessible for you to be able to do and give time to that's going to get you the best return in the moment.
Right.
Build it up, cultivate it. Sidebar everything just for a moment.
Right.
To be able to really give each thing sufficient time to get them where they need to be, and then let them live while you pick up the next thing and then get in motion. Because just trying to do everything at once, something is going to lack, something is going to fall off, something will suffer, and so you'll feel like you're not making progress.
Right.
When it's just that you're not giving each one of these things the time that they deserve.
Right. Which is all it is.
Yeah. So that's it.
Oh, definitely love that. And I love too that you've been able to figure out too, and I also love that you're like highly sought after and that you are here, because I know you've also had so many different opportunities that, like prior, and like there was some, many shows that you produced back in the day, you know what I'm saying, that like now, you can also like demand more, from them and all those things, but you also knew too to like build different partnerships prior to even getting here, like you said, but you was in the right rooms to be able to talk to the right people to know that. Yeah. But I also love that you're reminding folks like where you're better served, you know what I'm saying, and not being able to just spread yourself thin, and that it doesn't even work anyway.
It don't.
And then no product at the end of the day.
Right.
Yes.
Definitely don't want that.
Right.
Yeah, it's all, it's strategy. Everything for me is strategy. And I put dates on things and say, all right, well, I want to make this happen by this time. I want to make this happen by this date. And then we just maneuver. We figure out how to make it happen. And also, I don't try to do anything by myself. I don't do nothing by myself. The things I do by myself, I struggle with. I understand that, like I said, when I was trying to make beats, it was like, you know what? Nope. Let me go find somebody who does this. Let me go find somebody who's good, who can help me make this happen. And it's embracing other people and, what they're good for, and then also being able to bring what I'm good for to them. Absolutely. That has just made everything come to life.
Yes. Beautiful synergy. Mm-hmm. And so, speaking of that, if people want to tap in with you, right, and they want to learn more, whatever, like just learn about all these things and see all the great things you're doing, how can they find you, sir?
Pretty much everywhere at BKA Watts. You can't go wrong. BKA Watts, whatever social media platform you may think of, I'm on there as that, and I'm not hard to find. So just go ahead, reach out. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you DM me, I may miss it. I'm gonna get back to you though,
right?
At some point.
Yes, still try.
I listen because stuff be happening. It's aggressive, right? It's active, but just reach out. I'm like I said, I'm all for supporting other dope people. You know what I mean? So if I can help somebody who I see the potential in, bring something to life, and know that I have my hands in it, I don't gotta walk around and brag about it, but I want to make things happen.
Yes.
And get my ideas out here too. And, it never hurts to have somebody else in the resource bag to be able to say, hey, look, we got each other. And that's how I move. So yeah, reach out, tap in, tune in. I'm out here. Blerds and Clips, we out here. Right. A podcast that doesn't exist, we out here. Right. So, it's going.
Yes, it is. And I agree. And I do thank you, lastly, once again, too, because you even believed in me before I even believed in myself. Like I said, I was a nervous wreck when I first came here, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I saw it. And that's the cool part is I'm able to say, hey, look, no, I saw it for real. Yeah. And then look at us now.
Right.
On Revolt.
Woo.
Because even for myself, I didn't see it getting here, but definitely being able to have the foresight to see it in others is.
Yes, it's everything. Right. And now other people, like you said, starting to take notice. Let's go.
What's up?
So, yes. All right. So, tap in, y'all, please. If anything resonated with you, you know what I'm saying? Or you want to learn more. Because obviously, this is a tremendous resource right here. You better take, you know what I'm saying? Take notes on that.
Yes.
But definitely tap in. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? You came to the end of another great episode. We appreciate the support. Always tell somebody else, tell a friend. But definitely tap in. And so, on another Feel Good Friday, we're going to do it again. But thank you for being a part of this Take Me to School series. Thank y'all.
We out.